Throughout history, the act of betrayal has shaped nations, toppled empires, and altered the course of human events. From ancient times to the modern era, individuals have turned against their allies, countries, or ideals, leaving an indelible mark on the pages of history. In this video, we will explore 10 of the most notorious traitors in world history, presented in chronological order. These individuals, driven by various motives ranging from greed to ideology, committed acts that forever changed the societies they lived in and continue to fascinate us to this day. Our journey begins in ancient Rome with one of the most infamous betrayals in history. Brutus, a close friend and ally of Julius Caesar, played a pivotal role in the assassination that shocked the Roman world. On the Ides of March in 44 BCE, Brutus joined a group of conspirators who believed Caesar had become too powerful and was a threat to the Roman Republic.
As Caesar entered the Senate, Brutus and his co-conspirators surrounded him. When Caesar saw Brutus among the attackers, he reportedly uttered the famous words, "Et tu, Brute,"
meaning you too, Brutus. The betrayal by someone Caesar had trusted deeply made this act particularly poignant. The assassination plunged Rome into chaos and civil war, ultimately leading to the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire under Augustus. Brutus's actions, while intended to preserve the Republic, ironically hastened its demise and forever tarnished his name as a symbol of treachery. Moving forward in time, we encounter Judas Iscariot, whose name has become synonymous with betrayal in Western culture. In the 1st century CE, Judas was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. According to Christian tradition, Judas betrayed Jesus to the Roman authorities for 30 pieces of silver. He identified Jesus to the soldiers by kissing him, an act that has since been known as the Kiss of Judas. This betrayal led to Jesus' arrest, trial, and crucifixion. The motivations behind Judas's actions have been debated for centuries, with theories ranging from greed to a misguided attempt to force Jesus to use his divine powers. Regardless of the reason, Judas's betrayal had profound consequences, playing a crucial role in the foundational narrative of Christianity and forever marking him as the archetypal traitor in Western consciousness. Our next traitor takes us to medieval Scotland and the story of Macbeth. While Shakespeare's play has coloured much of our perception of this historical figure, the real Macbeth's betrayal was no less significant. In 1040, Macbeth, then a powerful nobleman, killed King Duncan I of Scotland. Macbeth was not only Duncan's subject, but also his cousin, making this act a betrayal of both loyalty and kinship. After assassinating Duncan, Macbeth seized the throne for himself. His reign lasted for 17 years and was marked by both relative stability and ongoing conflicts. However, Macbeth's betrayal set in motion a chain of events that would eventually lead to his own downfall. He was ultimately defeated and killed by Duncan's son Malcolm in 1057. Macbeth's betrayal and subsequent rule left a lasting impact on Scottish history and continues to captivate audiences through its dramatic retelling in literature and theatre. As we move into the Renaissance period, we encounter one of history's most notorious traitors, Guy Fawkes. In 1605, Fawkes was part of the Gunpowder Plot, a failed attempt to blow up the House of Lords in London and assassinate King James I of England. Fawkes, a Catholic convert, felt betrayed by the Protestant monarchy and its persecution of Catholics. However, his plan to betray the government was itself a massive act of treason. The plot was discovered, and Fawkes was captured, tortured, and executed. While his actions were unsuccessful, the attempted betrayal had far-reaching consequences. It led to increased persecution of Catholics in England and the annual celebration of Guy Fawkes Night, where his effigy is burned in remembrance of the foiled plot. Ironically, in modern times, the image of Guy Fawkes has been adopted by anti-establishment movements, transforming from a symbol of treason to one of resistance against perceived tyranny. Our journey through history brings us to the American Revolution and the infamous Benedict Arnold. Once a hero of the American Revolutionary War, Arnold's name is now synonymous with treason in the United States. In 1780, Arnold, then a general in the Continental Army, secretly negotiated with the British to surrender the American fort at West Point in exchange for money and a commission in the British Army. His plot was discovered when his British contact was captured, forcing Arnold to flee to British-controlled New York City. Arnold's motivations were complex, including resentment over being passed over for promotion and financial difficulties. His betrayal shocked the young nation and could have significantly altered the course of the war had it succeeded. Arnold spent the rest of his life in exile, reviled by Americans and distrusted by the British. His betrayal serves as a cautionary tale about the fragility of loyalty and the devastating consequences of personal ambition overriding national allegiance. Moving into the 19th century, we encounter the story of Vidkun Quisling, whose name became a byword for traitor. Quisling was a Norwegian politician who collaborated with Nazi Germany during World War II. In 1940, as Germany invaded Norway, Quisling attempted a coup d'état and declared himself prime minister. Although this initial attempt failed, he was later installed as the leader of the puppet government after the Nazi occupation. Quisling's betrayal of his country was motivated by his fascist ideology and personal ambition. His collaboration with the Nazis included assisting in the deportation of Norwegian Jews to concentration camps. After the war, Quisling was tried for high treason, murder, and embezzlement. He was found guilty and executed by firing squad in 1945. The term Quisling entered several languages as a synonym for traitor, particularly one who collaborates with an occupying enemy force. The Cold War era brings us to our next traitor, Kim Philby, one of the most damaging double agents in history. Philby was a high-ranking member of British intelligence who secretly worked for the Soviet Union. His betrayal began in the 1930s when he was recruited by Soviet intelligence while still a student at Cambridge University. Over the next 3 decades, Philby rose through the ranks of MI6, all the while passing crucial information to the Soviets. His position allowed him to compromise numerous Western intelligence operations and endanger the lives of many agents. Philby's treachery was finally uncovered in 1963, forcing him to defect to the Soviet Union. The damage caused by his betrayal was immense, severely undermining Western intelligence efforts during a critical period of the Cold War. Philby's case highlighted the vulnerabilities in intelligence agencies and led to significant changes in vetting and security procedures. In the realm of to pay returns to earlier ones, his clients included charities, pension funds, and individual investors, many of whom lost their life savings. Madoff's scheme collapsed in 2008 during the financial crisis when he could no longer meet redemption requests. His betrayal of trust shook the financial world, led to numerous suicides among his victims, and highlighted significant failures in financial regulation. Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison in 2009, dying behind bars in 2021. His name has become synonymous with financial fraud and the betrayal of trust in the business world. Our penultimate traitor brings us to the digital age and the controversial figure of Edward Snowden. In 2013, Snowden, a former CIA employee and NSA contractor, leaked highly classified information about global surveillance programs run by the NSA and Five Eyes intelligence alliance. Snowden's actions were seen as a massive betrayal by the US government, which charged him with espionage. However, Snowden and his supporters argue that his actions were a necessary exposure of government overreach and a defense of privacy rights. The leaked information sparked a global debate about government surveillance, digital privacy, and the balance between national security and individual rights. Snowden fled to Russia to avoid prosecution and remains there in asylum. His case highlights the complex nature of betrayal in the modern era, where one person's traitor can be another's whistleblower, and the lines between loyalty, ethics, and legality are increasingly blurred. Our final traitor brings us to recent history with Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks. Assange's case, like Snowden's, raises questions about the nature of betrayal in the digital age. WikiLeaks, founded in 2006, became known for publishing classified and sensitive information provided by anonymous sources. In 2010, WikiLeaks released a series of leaks provided by U.S. Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning, including the Baghdad airstrike collateral murder video, the Afghanistan war logs, the Iraq war logs, and Cablegate. These leaks exposed controversial aspects of U.S. military and diplomatic operations. The U.S. government accused Assange of conspiring with Manning to crack a password hash stored on U.S. Department of Defense computers connected to the secret Internet Protocol network. Assange's supporters view him as a champion of transparency and freedom of information, while his critics, including many in the US government, see his actions as a betrayal of national security. Assange sought refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London in 2012 to avoid extradition, but was arrested in 2019 when Ecuador withdrew his asylum. As of 2023, he continues to fight extradition to the United States. Assange's case, like others in the digital age, challenges traditional notions of loyalty and betrayal, pitting national security concerns against ideals of transparency and the public's right to know. As we reflect on these 10 traitors who have left their mark on history, we are confronted with the complexity of human nature and the often blurry lines between loyalty and betrayal. From ancient Rome to the digital age, these individuals' actions have shaped the course of nations, sparked revolutions, and challenged our understanding of allegiance and ethics. Their stories serve as a reminder of the power of individual choices and the far-reaching consequences of betrayal. Whether driven by greed, ideology, or a misguided sense of duty, each of these traitors altered the world around them in significant ways. As we move forward in an increasingly interconnected world, the lessons from these historical betrayals continue to resonate, challenging us to consider the nature of loyalty, the responsibilities of power, and the sometimes fine line between traitor and hero.